In the end, he said to me, "Do you want me to tell you what's wrong?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And he told me over the phone. And the reason that he told me was that my blood was so thick with my white blood cells, he was concerned that I was going to have a stroke. My name's Louise. I was diagnosed 19th of February 2020 with chronic myeloid leukemia. I started having really irregular periods, and I went to the doctors and they just said, "Oh, it's probably just early menopause and everything. Don't worry, you're still having your periods, don't worry about it." In my point of view, you ever hear of people going through the menopause, it's always the hot flushes and the night sweats. I was just sweaty, I was hot, losing weight, running around tired, exhausted. And then over the months, I started getting really bad night sweats, really bad. And I had this really bad pain in the left-hand side of my stomach. And it felt like a lump, and I thought I had a hernia. And I couldn't relate to anything because my mum had to have a hysterectomy, so she was forced into the menopause, and my nan's not around anymore, so I couldn't sort of backtrack it or anything like that. Never, ever, ever in a million years thought it'd turn out to be this. I remember I was really horrible to the kids when I woke up in the morning. I was so tired. I just thought, "Oh God, I feel so drained. I feel really rough. This isn't right." And I sat down and I changed the bed sheets, and I sat down and tried to do the quilt, and I couldn't do it. I just sat down and I really sobbed, and I thought, right, no, enough is enough. You need something to, I'm being hideous to everybody. And I went to the doctors, and she felt my tummy, and she said, "Oh yeah, it's a little bit tense. We'll send you for a scan." But she also said, "Come back the next day and they'll do a blood test, a complete full blood count, just to make sure, rule everything out and everything like that." And she was still, "Yeah, you're probably anemic. Maybe it is start the menopause and things like this." So I went back the next day, had my bloods in the morning on the Tuesday. And then on the Wednesday, the hospital rang me first thing in the morning and said, "Come in now." I was all like, "Yeah, okay, no worries, I'll pop in." And they were like, "No, you need to come to A&E now." And I was like, "Right." And they said, you've got something wrong with your blood, come in." And I was like, "My kids are on half term, I need to go home, sort them out and everything like that." And he kept going, saying, "You've got to come in now, pack some stuff, we found something's wrong with your blood." In the end, he said to me, "Do you want me to tell you what's wrong?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And he told me over the phone. He said, "You've got leukemia." And then he started talking about mutations and things like this. And I still didn't quite understand what he was saying. I went and packed a bag, I went in there, and I still thought that I'd get in there and they'd go, "Oh yeah, no, we've made a mistake." And the reason that he told me was that my blood was so thick with my white blood cells, he was concerned that I was going to have a stroke and that I needed to come in. And because I was going, "No, I'm going to sort my kids out, I've got to do this, that and the other," he didn't think I'd take it seriously. So yeah, that was a complete shock over the phone. So I went in and I spoke to the lady on reception, and she said, "Well, that's a bit weird, but go to triage and we'll call you in." And the triage nurse called me in, and I told her, and she went bonkers. She found, they looked through and saw everything, and she called him down, and she went actually mad. Like, I could hear them shouting at each other, and he was the reason why is because she wasn't taking it seriously. She wasn't going to come in straight away. He took me to the side room and then was going through all my symptoms and everything like that. And that's when everything started fitting together, like the night sweats, the fatigue, the weight loss, the bloodshot eyes, the headaches, the spots in front of my eyes and everything like that, bruising, all of that. They put me upstairs in a private room, and my daughter and my son came in. And he came in and he said, "What do you want me to do?" And I said, "Well, you can explain it to him because I don't really grasp what's going on yet." And he told them. And my daughter just turned around to him and said, "Is my mummy going to die?" And he just went, "Well, she will, but hopefully not from this." That was the, like, oh, moment. This is quite serious.